What's up, guys? Welcome to Straight Edge Wrestling's All Elite Wrestling Double or Nothing pay-per-view review. That was a really, really good show, actually.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The one thing that AEW can do well, though, is put on good wrestling matches. So
yeah, I think it may be my favorite full from start to finish empty arena show that's happened from both WWE and AEW. I think they sort of topped it. I think there's certain things which WWE have done which are better, but I think this is
but can you technically count AEW technically as an empty arena show?
Yeah, I mean there was about 400 people in the damn building.
Especially when you got Vicky Guerrero in the front row.
Yeah, that was random. I didn't expect that one.
Well, the announcers cleared that up. She's a fan.
Yeah, she's a fan. Well, she's just walking by Daly's place.
Even though I didn't think fans were allowed in, but okay.
Yeah, funny that. So on the buy-in on the pre-show, you had Best Friends defeating Private Party, and then the actual main show kicked off with the Top Contender Casino Ladder match, and we had our special guest, our mystery participant that was revealed to be Brian Cage, and he came down with Taz, which was kind of cool. They made him look very, very strong.
Yeah, I wasn't actually expecting him to win it because I thought they'd lead that into a storyline with Darby Allin.
Same here. I thought when they buried him outside underneath all that stuff, I kind of thought that's what they would do. They'd have everyone, beat the crap out of him, pass him aside, and then have someone else win it, just so that they make him look really strong, but then they don't have him win it. But yeah, why not? So he's going to be facing Jon Moxley for the AEW World Title at Fyter Fest next month.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
It's not one of those times where you can just turn around and say, "I'll challenge you whenever I feel like it."
Nope, apparently not. So he gets his shot next month. And also, we now know that Fyter Fest was originally supposed to be here in London, but because the world has come to an end, it is not. So that was supposed to be AEW's debut in London in June, but unfortunately, it's still going to be at Daly's place.
When do I get Not War Games?
Did you get Not War Games? They're saving that until fans are back. They don't want to waste blood and guts on.
So about 3 years' time, then, yeah.
Yeah, probably about that. 2022 should be about right. But the ladder match was I think that was pretty good. There was a highlight in it for me when Brian Cage came down and he coming through powerbombed or he suplexed Joey Janela off of the top rope. And all you heard was Joey Janela scream at the top of his lungs, "Oh, you fucking motherfucker!"
I did have that part. Well, I think Joey got his payback in because I don't think Joey actually realised that Cage was underneath all that crap when he jumped off.
There was a lot of bumps during this match. God, Darby Allin when he jumped off of that top, I don't know what it was that made me cringe so much. And Darby Allin jumped off the top of that ladder, on his just straight down on that skateboard. God, the dude is just how he doesn't break things every time he enters a ring. I don't know, but
hey, don't judge him for trying to try out a new skating trick.
Yeah. But we had MJF versus Jungle Boy. MJF beat Jungle Boy, so he's still undefeated in 2020.
Yeah, that pissed me off that he won, but it's still my favorite match on the card.
Yeah, that was my favorite, in ring match. That was brilliant. I think it was the best that MJF's looked in a wrestling match as well. I think there was a lot of his usual stuff.
I think you'll find it was those two were such a good pairing for one another.
Yeah, really good. There was a point where Jungle Boy hit MJF with a Hurricanrana on the outside of the ring, and he just looked like he'd paralyzed MJF. And I thought it was brilliant. MJF sold it brilliantly.
It wasn't so much that he did it outside. He did it on the fucking apron. JR's like that. He's fucking out cold.
Yeah. I love that JR does that and actually calls it as, oh, that's a concussion. Actually makes it realistic. Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. I think MJF's probably the right call to win it because they're still building him as having the best win-loss record in AEW essentially. So they're still trying to push that narrative. They mentioned it on Dynamite. They mentioned it last night.
I like the way no one mentions the champion, though, who's still undefeated as well this year. He's probably only had one loss.
Yeah.
I think overall.
Yeah.
So how is he still not very high up in the rankings then? If he's unbeaten.
I don't know, because their rankings make no sense. That's why.
See,
He's only been beaten in a tag match. That's it. And he wasn't pinned.
This is what they need to do, like some kind of point system.
Yeah, well, that's
then it means their actual ranking means something.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother discussion. No, yeah, that's a whole other discussion.
But, I'm having that discussion now. I don't care. Let's do it now.
But you mentioned earlier, Jungle Boy selling the arm throughout the whole match was fantastic.
Yeah, but as I said, there's two things. They did two things through this match that I don't normally like, but they did both these things so well that I really enjoyed it. Which was people starting off matches where they try and outdo one another because they drag on way too long, but these two made it look really entertaining. Actually, I liked it. And then having that one injury where you didn't get the rest of the match, we're going to focus on this one injury. But they did it quite so well, and I didn't like the way where they come back. MJF was struggling with his back. Yeah,
they did it really well because they made it part of the story, and they didn't make it the only part of the story.
Yeah,
which you find a lot of the time that when someone gets injured, it becomes the only part of the match is they've hurt their leg, or they forget about it.
I also enjoyed that Warlow didn't get involved.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised he didn't. I thought that's what it was gonna come down to. I thought it was gonna end up being a schmoz fest at the end with Wardlow and Luchasaurus. But I'm glad it didn't.
I think Luchasaurus and all that were already fucked from the match beforehand.
Yeah. We then had the AEW TNT Championship match. So obviously we got our first sight of the TNT title, but it's not finished. It got slowed down because of the virus, which should be said. It could be. So I'm going to completely hold judgment on the title until we actually see the final product, because there's no point.
Well, because this is that moment, the 24/7 title looks a bit better than this one.
At the moment, the second I saw it, that's all that I thought was, did they just go on WWE's shop and buy the 24/7 title and respray it?
As soon as I saw Mike Tyson walk down, I texted you saying, why does the 24/7 title look better than this one at the moment?
Yeah. It just reminds me of at the moment. It just reminds me of the Raw Tag Team Championships. The circle like that. Just basically exactly what it looks like. But it's not finished, so it could continue looking like a piece of shit when it's all done. But I'll wait until then.
It needs more AEW written on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it needs AEW 18 more times on the title. Yeah. But yeah, so Mike Tyson comes down, and then Lance Archer comes out. He throws a man through around in the ring, and the camera pans to Mike Tyson, and Mike's face is just like in awe, shock, bewilderment.
Well, no, it's that weird bit where he does the what, and then smiles.
And the best thing about that is
it's what's happening behind him.
The camera pans out, and Jake Roberts is just having a little dance behind Mike Tyson. I cracked up at that. That was so funny. It was like, what the hell is going on? Oh, I love that. Yeah. Mike Tyson, there's a meme now. Unfortunately, there's a meme going around because AEW flicked to Mike Tyson at one point during the match, and Mike Tyson was yawning, the biggest yawn anyone has ever done in human history. And the camera quickly cut back away from Mike Tyson sitting there going, at the match. So...
I got to admit, I did quite like it when they went to my referee when they come to Arn Anderson knocking off, and Tyson's like, "Get him out of it! Just get him out! Get him out!"
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And then I like the way they get kicked both of them out, and the commentator, "Oh, it's only fair, kick them both out."
Yeah, JR's like, "Yeah, I agree with that. Kick him out as well." I love that. Yeah, so the match started, and Lance Archer hit the blackout immediately on Cody, which I was like, okay, didn't see that coming. It was a good match. It was quite a long match for. I think it was probably like the longest match on the card, other than the main event, but it was a decent match.
I enjoyed it.
I know.
It was what it needed to be. Cody getting his ass handed to him and trying to find his way to conquer through it.
Yeah, exactly. He makes that comeback. I know there's differing opinions as to whether or not Cody should have been the first AEW TNT Championship. I think he should have been. We've both been saying it for a while. Yeah,
he's generally one of the hardest working people in that place. So
yeah, just because he's an executive doesn't. I see all these comparisons. People saying, oh, he's just doing what Triple H done. He's just doing what Kevin Nash did as a booker and all that.
Well, if they were going to do that, then he wouldn't have put it that he could no longer have a face for the AEW title, and he's sticking to it.
Yeah, no, I said before they even announced the TNT title was coming, we both had this discussion on the show about Cody. They need the secondary title, and it's Cody's title to make something of it, to make it mean something. And that's what they're doing. They're going to give it to Cody. And Lance Archer doesn't leave this looking weak. At the end of the day, they kept him looking fine because they had the Mike Tyson distraction, all that sort of thing going on.
I was wondering if Tyson was going to win him.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Austin Shawn Mike.
I was waiting for that. Chris Jericho tweeted out as well, because do you remember when Mike Tyson knocked out Jericho on Raw it must have been 10 years ago now, when they had DX, they had Shawn and Triple H bad-mouthing Jericho. Mike Tyson was a referee, and then Mike Tyson ripped off his shirt to reveal a DX shirt and punched Jericho in the face. And Jericho tweeted out yesterday just being like, I better not see him tomorrow night. I better not see him. I still remember. And everyone's replying with a gif of Jericho just being knocked the fuck out by Tyson on Raw. But no, I think
they missed out on opportunity there, didn't they? In that match where Tyson and Jericho come.
Yeah, they could have so easily have Jericho run away from him. But yeah, no, I think Lance Archer leaves that looking strong. You get a championship on Cody, and they can continue it on if they really want to. They can continue Cody and Lance on. They can do whatever. Lance isn't damaged by this. We had the AEW Women's Championship. Hikaru Shida defeating Nyla Rose to become the AEW Women's Champion. I really like this match. I really love this match.
So WWE missed out on her because she speaks English really, really well.
Yeah. I thought just before this match, also I should say that they done a nice little thing to Hannah where they and Excalibur gave a nice little speech there where he basically just told people, how about just be nice fucking people, which I thought was great. And then they led into this, and I thought it was a brilliant match. I thought they really tore into each other, threw each other around a bit. And they used those poker chips quite a bit during the night, didn't they? They were like a common recurring thing.
Quick, because I thought to say, if those poker chips were so heavy that it took 4 to 5 people to carry one, did they not realise it's a circle and it would take less energy just to wheel it to the spot that they wanted to then just push on the person?
I did think that. I thought they realised that they can roll, right? Yeah. But
their acting was really bad for that as well, to try and make it seem like it was really heavy.
Yeah, it was. But you could clearly see, and also it makes it even worse because later in the night, JR even goes and tells you that they're made of fiberglass. So even during the Moxley match, JR actually said, "Oh, those fiberglass poker chips," and I'm like, "Oh, well, this is awkward because they made them seem like they were made of concrete about 2 hours ago." But yeah, no, I think it's good. But once again, this thing with the women's title is: are we going to see it every week? Are we going to see a consistent story every week? With Shida,
to be honest, with Shida, I think you can because she has been. She's the one who's been there regularly.
She has, yeah.
You had that small core one, which was being Britt Baker, Chris Alien. That's the one. And Penelope, sort of thing. You had that small core that have constantly been there at the moment, so I can see her still being there on a regular basis. We may have to disappear back to Japan for Stardom, but
yeah, I hope so. I hope we can, because they just, I don't know, this AEW women's title has just been so stop start. The whole women's division is, but yeah, hopefully this can be a fresh start, because I really liked Shida's performance here. I thought it was great.
And let's be honest, at the moment, it's not like she's got anywhere else to go at the minute.
No, exactly.
Time days, so
yeah, exactly. So hopefully they can focus on this and do it, and actually start building women's division. But we then had the co-main event, as they were calling it, Jon Moxley versus Mr. Brodie Lee. Jon Moxley obviously picking up the win here. I liked the match. I did like the match. My only problem is I just don't really care enough about Mr. Brodie Lee at the moment. So I think it was fine.
Well, Moxley got to beat up the old man finally.
Yeah, exactly. That was basically what it was. There was a, Brodie Lee keeps on saying that it's nothing to do with Vince, and he gets quite angry about the people saying that. But then during the match, the commentators even say, "Do you know he really doesn't like sneezing?" It's literally
but it's for the whole thing. It's like doesn't like sneezing, doesn't like people disturbing him while he eats.
Yeah, it's literally the Vince McMahon tropes and stories we've heard about a million times. But the match was fine. They kept Brodie Lee looking strong still at the end of it. I saw JR get into it with you remember Disco Inferno from WCW and Impact.
Yeah.
Disco Inferno tweeted out saying that they buried Brodie Lee and Lance Archer last night. Why should we care about the heels? And JR responded being like, "What? Like, what do you mean buried? Like, come on."
For him to finally finally get he didn't even get the pin. He didn't even tap out.
No, exactly. He didn't tap out. He was busted open after going through the stage, and he passed out. He didn't give up. This is like, what? So you're going to tell me that Stone Cold Steve Austin was buried by Bret Hart at WrestleMania when he passed out instead of tapping out? Come on.
Yes, yes, he was.
Yeah, exactly. Because we all know Austin came to nothing.
Because he became a face and should have always been a heel.
yeah. It's just that blew my mind. But I like the fact JR bit back at Disco Inferno for saying it, and Disco Inferno was like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that." He tucked his tail between his legs, a little bitch. But the match was fine, and as I say, like they left Brodie Lee looking strong, which is good because he's not been there that long, and he's not really had his full Dark Order around him for quite a long time. So they've not really been able to build the proper Dark Order yet with Evil Uno and things. Hopefully that will change soon. But
that is actually kind of Brodie's fault because he was given the opportunity if he wanted to hold off debuting, and if because Khan was like, it doesn't really matter. You can debut if you want now, or you can do it later. It don't really matter. That's a great way to run your fucking business, if I'm honest.
That's very true. Yeah, that is very true. Like
I'll be so laid fucking back. You guys we can do this or not, I don't care.
That is very true. They planned obviously for him to debut in Rochester, New York, his hometown, because they wanted him to debut in his hometown. And then obviously that was the last show that that was the first show, that they cancelled as part of the pandemic. And they just still debuted him anyway, which was, fine. But like, yeah, as you say, looking back now, you think, why didn't they just wait? I get that they need people, they need stories with it, but they should have just said, no, we're going to wait.
Hearing back that the potential person running the place goes, it's up to you if you want to debut now. Fair enough, asking the person. But to go, it doesn't really matter. It's completely up to you. No offense, Vince McMahon could get whinged and moaned at because he's so good and interesting. But he wouldn't turn around and go, it don't really matter, does it?
Yeah, he's never going to go up. He's never going to go up to a talent and go, "Oh no, that's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about me and my company. You do you." Yeah. But
he probably should a little bit.
He probably should do more of that. Yeah.
It's getting a bit old now.
There's a happy medium in between those two management styles. Yeah. So we have our main event, the Stadium Stampede match. Now, before we go into this properly, I'm going to tell you and get your reaction to Dave Meltzer's review on this, where because I want to hear what you say about this. So he said that AEW one-ups WWE at every juncture. So WWE has been crap with creative, and they've got 50 odd members of creative. They've been crap with creative, and then they come and they pull something out like the Boneyard match, where it was Michael Hayes, Triple H, Jeremy Borash, AJ, and Undertaker. Those 5 guys came together. They made the Boneyard match. And he said, and then once again, AEW one-ups WWE and knocks the Boneyard match out of contention by being even more creative, making an even better sort of out-of-ring match.
How can you compare this to the Boneyard? I would compare this to Money in the Bank, which I would then still state that both Money in the Bank and this could have used more of the headquarters, and they could have used more of the stadium because most of them stayed in the same spot.
Right.
Apart from someone eventually finding a bar.
That is exactly the response which I thought you were going to have to that. He went on about a 10-minute rant on his show this morning, comparing it to the Boneyard match, and I've seen many people do the same thing. And it's like they had two completely different goals. This was a comedy match, more or less.
And if you want to compare it to the Boneyard match, this was shit.
Yeah, the Boneyard match was incredible. I don't know. I know in Dave Meltzer's head, anything that the Bucks and Kenny do will always top anything WWE does. But yeah, that I wanted to see what you
say that. When Matt makes his first fucking appearance back, and the first thing he does is break his ribs.
Yeah, I know.
Back on AEW Dynamite.
Yeah. Idiot, honestly. But yeah, so the match starts. They all have their entrances coming out football style, which is so funny. They're all wearing different gear, and then the Elite and Matt Hardy come out.
What did the Elite not think of that?
Yeah, I know. They were wearing helmets. They had pads on. they came prepared. And there was no Hangman Page. And Kenny sort of settles him down and says, "No, don't worry, he'll be here." And then Hangman Page arrives on a horse. Of course he does. And Sammy Guevara runs at about 1,000,000 miles an hour to get away from Hangman and the horse into the stadium.
That was quite a good entrance by Hangman, if I'm honest.
It was so ridiculous. I loved it. It was brilliant. And
I bet Khan Senior is looking at his football field right now thinking, "You fucking ruined my field."
Yeah, it's not being used for anything else anytime soon, is it? So we had just a ridiculous amount of brawling happening around the ring originally in the middle of the field. That was how it went for quite a while, weren't it? It was mainly not in the ring but around the ring.
And until he sort of showed up, I was starting to lose a little bit of interest because it was, let's all beat each other around the ring and in the ring, and they're like, why is there even a wrestling ring in this fucking match? What the fuck?
Yeah, I agree. Do you know, like, if you want to compare it to, this is why it's not comparable to like the Boneyard match. Like, as you say, it's more like the Money in the Bank match where it was lots of outside the ring thing culminating in the ring.
But at least Money in the Bank had a reason for having the ring there.
Yeah.
That was your end goal. They had no reason to have a ring.
No. Do you know the whole reason the ring was there? It was so people could hit certain moves. Like that was it, because they obviously wanted to. Oh, just in case they want to hit this move or whatever.
Well, if you didn't, I'll do it outside somewhere.
Yeah, but that was like the whole reason, really, that they'd done it. But we then go back. Well, we actually see Sammy Guevara come back out from the backstage area and come back towards the ring, and then we go back to Hangman still chasing Sammy.
You don't go back to Hangman for a long time.
For quite a while, yeah. It's true. You go back to Hangman about 4 or 5 minutes later.
Hangman look even more stupid when we finally do, going, "Sammy, where are you? Come out, Sammy," until he finds a bar.
But he
could have just been honest. He was looking for a bar the whole time.
Yeah. He shouldn't have been calling for Sammy. He should have been calling for Jack Daniels. And he gets off the horse and he tells the horse, "Stay." And the horse did actually stay, which I don't know, that made me laugh so much. Him just going, "Stay." And then he heads off towards the bar. We get let's focus on what happened in the bar. So I know this was out of chronological order, but
I have no idea what he was drinking. Was that what fucking whiskey?
It was not whiskey. That looked to me like cold tea or something like that. You know, it looked, because it was frothing at the top. It looked like it looked
like a fucking malt vinegar style fucking thing.
Yeah, it looked like
was thick. It was thick and greyish and horrible.
Yeah, they should have just given him some actual Jack. Let him go out there with a buzz. Why not? But yeah, they so he sat at the bar. Jake Hager comes into the bar and they do the. Do you remember? You watched the Mickey Rourke film, The Wrestler, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's the whole scene is supposed to be like that. Basically, that's what it's all supposed to be about. But Jake Hager and Hangman Page just have a wild bar brawl, which I actually really enjoyed. That he like cleaned the bar with Hangman Page and threw him for a table, and then beat the crap out of him and threw him on the pool table before Kenny Omega made the save, and they beat the crap out out of Jake Hager. Was that the last time we saw Hager? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Hangman pours himself a whiskey-like substance. And
he didn't pour himself that. Kenny poured that for him.
Kenny poured it. He poured the milk, yeah. And Kenny Omega had a glass of milk, and they cheers.
He didn't really have a glass of milk. He more or less poured it all over himself.
Yeah, he was like Kurt
Angle. This is the real reason why Kenny doesn't drink, because he can't find his mouth properly.
Yeah, he has no idea how to lift a glass to his lips. We had Santana Ortiz and Matt Hardy having a thing upstairs on the pool, the Lake of Reincarnation pool at Jacksonville.
Kenny started off involved with that, and then I wondered where he went, and then they understand when you cut to the bar afterwards.
Yeah, that's true, because Omega had like been put through the guardrail that was balancing on the two tables, and then he just disappears off to the bar. But yeah, we get Santana Ortiz and Matt Hardy in the Lake of Reincarnation, and we get multiple versions of Matt Hardy. And Matt Hardy said that it's not Matt Hardy version 1.0, it's the first version of Hardy, because I'm assuming it's probably
through the things that popped there. It's like you had the classic Hardy.
Yeah, I thought that was.
And then there was a different name, and I can't remember what the third version was called.
Yeah, I thought it was really smart. I can't either, but I thought it was really smart that that there was a nice little way of doing it. And do you know what was really good about that was they'd done it in such a way as the cuts were really quite smooth, that you didn't really notice the break where he's changing and all that. I thought it was really smart.
I just love Matt Hardy every time they put it back under the water and doing the finger, and he's like that.
Yeah, he's like doing the V1 underneath the water. That was great. And he gets out of the water, he reincarnates again, and he gets out of the water, and he hits Ortiz with the massive bell that's at the Jag Stadium.
He didn't hit him with the bell. He did the whole
he rung his bell, as you say, and he's sort of like having a convulsion in the chair.
Yeah, probably. It's the bit where he takes him up on the chair, and then he starts chasing him while on the chair.
Then he chases Santana, and he throws Santana in an ice cooler. It was a lot. There's a lot to like keep track of what happened in this match.
Well, the best part is earlier on in the match was commentators. I think was it JR. One of them was, we need more cameras out there. I think it was JR. Like, we need more cameras, and they said to it in their face, in their ears, and
so
one of them's like, we've just been in our ear being told they've got 18 cameras out there.
Yeah, Tony
JR like that. I'm not gonna say that.
JR says they had 20. They had 20 cameras. They needed 21, and then Tony Schiavone says, "Well, I'm just being told in my ear that they actually had 18." And JR goes, "Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, Tony. I could hear him too, but I wasn't going to say it." I love that. Throughout this entire match, those three were just having the greatest time on commentary, just talking shit the entire time. I forgot to say at the beginning.
They must have been watching Michael Cole through SmackDown. Recordings.
I forgot to say at the beginning of the match was one of the funniest things where Tony Schiavone just said, "Hey, you know, that's real grass out there, guys." And you hear a pause. There's an awkward pause for about 5 seconds, and JR goes, "What's your point, Tony?" And then
it's soft out there.
Yeah. And then there's another awkward pause, and Tony replies, and another awkward pause, and Excalibur goes, "Do you want me to take you out there and suplex you on that?" And then it's like, back to the action.
Nope.
Well, that's brilliant. We get a ridiculous little bit, which I kind of really liked, between Jericho and Nick Jackson, where they're beating the crap out of each other. Yeah, the bat just sort of was nicely placed on the floor, weren't it, down there around the corner, where
he just gets slammed into a wall and a bat appears in his hand.
Yeah. Where Jericho and Nick Jackson are sort of going at it. The Jags mascot appears. He gets Judas Effect in the face, and Jericho goes for a pinfall. It gets a 2, and then he asks for a replay, and it goes into the replay tent to go and see the near fall. And all you can hear is Aubrey Edwards go, "Get the hell out of here! Get the hell out of here!"
Are we sure that's all that was happening in there though? Because he did sit that down when he went in there.
He should have left with that lipstick on his cheeks or something.
It is though. It's where he walks off though afterwards, saying you're a shit referee.
You're a goddamn shit referee. Oh, it's brilliant. Oh god, Jericho's just fantastic. We get Matt Jackson hits a move on Sammy in the end zone, and referee Rick Knox throws a flag on the play because it's just so ridiculous. I loved it.
Well, he did get kicked in the face for it.
So Matt Jackson super kicks him, which is ridiculous. We get Sammy Guevara laying on the field. He wakes up from a daze.
Isn't that where after he got Matt Jackson did the whole thing over and over from one end of the field to the other?
Yeah,
a broken rib. That's impressive.
Yeah, very impressive.
Especially when he does that bit where he gets flagged because he does dance and then he gets flagged for it.
Do you know what's even funny about that? Talking about his broken rib was when he got up on the goal and jumped off. You can see Nick Jackson sort of saying to him, "I'll go, like let me go instead." But he decided to go up there even with a broken rib. But yeah, you get Sammy Guevara. You're right. Sammy Guevara wakes up after having been suplexed the length of the football field, and he thinks he's won somehow. And then the sprinklers go off and attack him with it. I really like Sammy Guevara. I think he's just great.
Yeah, but it's the return of the Matt Hardy and Kenny.
Yeah, he turns around into the golf cart chasing him down like he's got PTSD from last time, and but this time he manages to jump over the guardrail and up into the stands. And when he's up there, we get the return. Well, not the return. We get the reintroduction of a new Vanguard called Neo One.
I think that's in reference to Jeff Hardy, though.
I should think so. Yeah,
from Brother Nero.
Which we get a distraction on Sammy, and Kenny Omega hits a ridiculous one-winged angel off the balcony through some weird structure of some kind that was obviously
and then for production fucks it up, don't they?
Yeah, they done the WWE thing at Money in the Bank where they show you the padding. They show you how they broke the fall.
It wouldn't have been too bad if they'd just gone an extra further with the box.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, just finish the box. You don't got to cover the bit over the back there. Just make sure the fucking thing's covered.
Yeah. Or just don't show you that camera angle when it was not live and was edited, and they could have just not shown that camera angle. But I liked that match. I thought it was great. I said that I tweeted that saying both WWE and AEW have pulled a lot out of the bag with these matches, with like the Boneyard match, with the Firefly Funhouse match, Money in the Bank. With this, it may not be to everyone's taste. You know, you sort of have differing opinions on Money in the Bank or Firefly Funhouse. Some people didn't like those or loved them, whatever. But hell, they're being creative with this stuff, and I'm all for it. But anyway, that was AEW's Double or Nothing review. Please head on over and follow us on Twitter at SEW_podcast. Follow us here on YouTube and like and subscribe to this video. We will see you next time with another video. We are out.